Hi everyone, it's Trevor the Whingy Pom again. And as promised, I'm putting this video out on Friday. You know, over my working life, I've met some wonderful people, and in my personal life, very few wankers. But anyway, I'll start off with work. I used to be supervisor when they're building the Tantalilla pulp mill. So we were doing all the installation work, and most of the blokes all come from Melbourne. And this bloke by the name of Apples wanted to go back. And I said, look, mate, you can't. You know, the boss won't let you. He said, oh, what about if I can arrange this so they will let me go back? I said, that's fine, you know, no worries. Anyway, one morning, what he'd done was he broke off a knife, siliconed it to his head sideways, and ran tomato sauce down both sides and walked up to the health and occupational inspector. And the bloke looked at him and went, what the? And they threw him off site. Anyway, so that's how Apples got back to Melbourne. And when I was younger, I was working at one of the hospitals in Adelaide, and our company had been working there for over a year, and no one had fallen through anything or fallen off roofs or anything. But dear old me, I did it. I fell straight through the ceiling. And I didn't hurt myself, but I actually fell through the women's toilets. What? A woman was sitting down on one of them, and I fell through the other cubicle. And she let off an almighty scream. I think it scared me as much as it scared her, I think. Anyway. And then I used to play soccer, play indoor and outdoor soccer. And every year we used to have a competition at Strathmore Hospital. Anyway, I was playing goalkeeper one night, and bloke hit the ball that hard, he broke two of my fingers. So I thought, hell, what am I going to do? Because I had no sick pay left or holiday pay left. So I decided, right, I'll go to work and I'll pretend I broke him at work. Which is wrong, by the way. Don't you do that. Anyway, so I got up the ladder and I thought, right, that's it. People weren't around me. I went, oh, and I slipped. And instead of breaking two fingers, I broke four. I suppose at least I got off from combo anyway. Never mind. And also, when I was working a job at the Barossa Valley, I was working on a tank, doing the installation or the metal work on top of the tank, actually. And I was on a scaffold. And I've got the drill in my hand here, and I'm standing there. Next minute, the whole scaffold collapsed. Shows how well it was built, wasn't it? And I never got one iota of injuries. I was just standing there with my drill on a plank while the whole scaffold had collapsed around me. Gee, you wouldn't get away with that these days, would you? Not a cat and nails chance. Anyway, we used to live at Illawong Drive, and I was cleaning out the gutters, and I had my hand on the downpipe. Well, it collapsed, and I fell off the roof, and I came down like that on the concrete. And I snapped my arm in half, literally. Anyway, I screamed. Kelly come run out, and she ran inside and got the ambulance. And but Terry, she was only a little tiny kid then, thought, oh, Dad's playing. So she jumped lump down on my chest. And Helen next door says to Gary, she can see me through the window, I think Trevor's just fallen off the roof. He looks through the window and says, no, he's just playing with Terry. Anyway, the ambulance picked me up, and it was killing. They gave me gas or whatever. I get to the hospital, and as you know, nerves are wrapped around your arm. So my arm was actually, like I said, snapped in half. And I get there and they drop me off the bloody bed. Oh, Jesus Christ, did that hurt. I was swearing black and blue, I tell you, that day. Anyway, the emergency room sister, or the surgical sister, had died of cancer. So they stopped all operations, so I didn't get operated on for 48 hours. And that's probably the best time for Kelly to ask me questions, because I was on that many drugs. I would have told the truth about everything. Thank God I didn't, eh? But anyway, once we're working I won't say where because there's still some few bosses there. Heavy blokes working at this place. And what I used to do is get the invoice book signed. And so I can put it straight in so I get paid in a week's time. Anyway, I goes to see the bloke concerned. Anyway, I said, can you sign the book? Look, I'm busy. Come back in an hour. I said, but I've got to go into another job, mate, somewhere else. No, you come back in an hour. Then I'll sign it. So I said, righto. So I ripped up the invoice and added $300 to it. Because my father always told me, don't get mad, get even. So anyway, I took it to him. And he looked at him. Bloody hell, he said, are you ripping me off? And I said, yeah, sure, mate. I am, actually. He just laughed and signed it. Yeah, so anyway, this is only a short one today. So my joke of the day is, John, who's 35 and married, ends up having an accident. Turns up at Heaven's Gate, St. Peter. Anyway, St. Peter said, oh, you've been a fairly, good bloke. I'll give you a brand new Monaro to drive. He goes, wow, fantastic. Anyway, he's driving down the road up in heaven, and he gets his toot. He goes, what's that? So he stops his car. His mate gets out, it's Jim. He died when he was 16. He said, wow, you got a Rolls Royce. How good are you? He said, yeah, he said, because I was still a virgin and I was well behaved and everything, so I got a Rolls Royce. Anyway, about 50 years later, John's sitting on the side of the road. He's crying. Jim pulls over. What's the matter, John? What's the matter, John? He said, oh, my wife turned up. Oh, well, that's good. What's the matter? He said, she turned up on a skateboard. So that's it for today. God bless. Look after yourselves. And I love you all. Bye.